Happy Friday, first grade. I'm so excited you're here. Today we get to start our new unit on measurement. We will measure our shoes. How will we measure our shoes? We will use different tools to measure our shoes. Why? It is important to be able to measure items correctly. Length. Say the word length. Length is a type of measurement. It tells us how long or how wide something is. It can also tell us the distance or the length of time. This pencil is 6 inches long. Length has a start spot and an end spot. Unit of measure. Say unit of measure. It's a type of measurement. We use different types of measurements to measure different things. We would use this to measure the speed in our car. This one to measure how fast we ran. This one to measure how long something is. And here are some other units of measure that we use every day. Today we are going to use non-standard units of measure, not something we usually use, to measure our shoes. But first we're going to listen to this lovely story called If the Shoe Fits. And it fits perfectly with our lesson today. So I want everybody ready to listen. Are you ready to listen? Okay, it's going to be some good stuff here. And I'm just going to hide out over here in the corner, okay? Okay.
If the shoe fits. Albert grabbed his sister's arm. Wanda, what's that? Albert and Wanda were coming back from picking berries in the people yard. Something strange was in the grass ahead of them. They crept closer. It was big. It was red. It was a people shoe? Albert jumped up and down. The shoe was the best thing ever. What was it doing outside? It was right where Groucho the cat could find it. Groucho had beaten Albert to some great stuff before. A huge striped feather, a pink rubber ball, a dropped hot dog bun, but not this time. Wanda, we have to take that shoe home, Albert said. We could put it in the playroom and it could be our clubhouse. Wanda looked at the shoe. It would be a perfect clubhouse, she said, but it's big and heavy and the playroom is far away. I don't want to get there and find it doesn't fit. So Albert said, we could measure it first. We don't have a ruler, Wanda pointed out. But I have an idea, Albert said. I'll use my feet to measure it. Albert walked next to the shoe. He put one foot in front of the other and he counted. 1, 2, 3, until he reached the end. It's 12 mouse feet long, he said. 1, 2, 3. Wanda nodded. Well, I'll double check, she measured with her feet. It's 10 mouse feet long. Albert looked at his mouse foot and he looked at Wanda's. Mouse foot, hey, your feet are bigger than mine. That's why we've got different numbers. Well, let's measure it with something else, Wanda said. I know, Albert said, and he reached into his backpack. Cheese! He held up a cheese stick. Albert measured the shoe, and it was exactly 8 cheese sticks long. Albert and Wanda crossed the yard. They scurried along next to the fence, around the flower pots, and over the log pile. Finally, they reached their home. Now, we need to measure the playroom, Wanda said. Albert took the cheese stick from his bag. Wanda looked at it. It seemed shorter. Albert, she asked, did you eat part of the cheese stick? Oh, I got a bit hungry, he said. What else can we measure with, Wanda asked. It has to be one size, not like mouse feet, and it has to stay the same size, not like a cheese stick. Albert thought for a moment. Paper clips, he said. Albert had a paperclip collection. The purple ones were his favourite. They were all exactly the same size. He ran and got them. Albert started to measure the playroom. The playroom was 7 paper clips long. Albert and Wanda peeked outside. There was no Groucho, so they hurried over the log pile around the flower pots and along the fence. The shoe was right where they'd left it. Phew! I was afraid Groucho would find it, Albert said. Wanda measured the shoe. It was 5 paper clips long. It would fit in the playroom, with 2 paper clips to spare. Fantastic! Albert picked up the heel and Wanda picked up the toe, and they carried the shoe all along the fence. They carried it round the flower pots and they carried it to the log pile. Albert and Wanda stopped to catch their breath. That shoe was really heavy. Then they climbed to the top of the log pile. Albert looked down and saw... Oh, Groucho! Groucho looked up and he saw Albert and he saw Wanda. Albert shrieked and Wanda shrieked and they dropped the shoe. The shoe tumbled down off of the log pile. Oh no! And it hit Groucho on the nose. Groucho yowled, meow, and he ran away as fast as his cat feet could run. He was not very happy. Albert shook his paw at Groucho. Take that, cat, he cried. Albert and Wanda raced down the side of the woodpile and they grabbed the shoe. They ran as fast as their mouse feet could run. They crammed the shoe through the back door. They crammed it through the playroom door. It was quite a tight squeeze, but eventually they got it in. They put it between the bookshelf and the ball hoop. It fitted perfectly. They high-fived each other. They were so happy. Wanda and Albert's mouse club house was mouse-tastic. Albert popped his head out of the toe and Wanda climbed the shoelace. Albert crawled through the middle and Wanda sat on the tongue of the shoe and read a book. It just needs one more thing, Wanda said. I wonder what that is. On the side of the shoe, she painted a sign and it said, "No cats allowed." What a lovely clubhouse.
Wasn't that a fantastic story? Yes, I think you're right. So Albert and Wanda measured the shoe with non-standard units of measurement. Here are some examples of non-standard units of measurement, some of which we will be using as well. What did Albert and Wanda use? Did they use pennies? Did they use beans? Oh, they used paper clips. Paper clips from Albert's paperclip collection. You can also use your feet. But if somebody else measures it, is it going to be the same size? No, not unless they have exactly the same size shoe. We could also use straws, counters, and popsicle sticks to measure things. How many paper clips long is this pin? Look at the start line and the end line. Are all the paper clips end to end? There's no gaps. There's none on top of each other. Yes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 paper clips long. How many cubes long is this pencil? You have to start at the start end and end at the end line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cubes. The pencil is 15 cubes long. We have to say how long it is in the units that we used so we know what to use next time we want to measure it. Well, today we are going to trace our shoe on a piece of construction paper. You're going to cut out your shoe and glue it to another piece of paper. Then use 3 different non-standard units of measurement to see how long your shoe is. Will everyone's shoe be the same? Why not? Why won't everyone's shoe be the same? You all have shoes. Oh, so your shoes are not all the same length. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Everybody's shoes, most everybody's shoes are different sizes. So not everybody's will be the same. When you are finished laying out your objects to measure with, take a picture and turn it in. Now, if you are at home, you can use beans, cubes, counters, paper clips, macaroni. You can cut out squares out of a piece of paper. Whatever you can find at home, as long as they are all the same size. At school, we are going to use tiles, 1s units, and our trusty paper clips. All right, so let me show you what else you're going to need for this activity. Aha! You are going to need, like I said, 3 things to measure with. You can use paper clips. We're going to use tiles at school and 1s units. You're also going to need scissors, a pencil, and 2 sheets of construction paper, 2 different colors. All right, so now the first thing is to decide which one you're going to glue onto. So I'm going to glue onto the orange one, which means I'm going to trace my shoe on this yellow one. You probably don't want to see my nasty, stinky feet after all day at school, so I'm just going to take my shoe off and trace my shoe. Let's turn this thing around. All right, so I'm going to trace around my shoe, start line at the top, keep my pencil on the paper, don't pick it up, come around the end line, here. Now when I pick up my shoe, I have a perfect tracing of my shoe. Now I'm going to cut it out. Now that I've cut it out, I'm going to lay it on top of the other construction paper that I chose for my background. Now I'm going to measure my shoe with paper clips first. So you lay them on, start at the start line at the very tip of the shoe. Put them end to end, leaving no gaps, no finger spaces here, guys. In a straight line. They're touching, but they're not on top of each other. See how they're end to end like that? All right, I'm not going to be able to fit another paper clip. It'll be hanging off, so I'm just going to count what I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My shoe is 5 paper clips long. Do you think you will use more paper clips or less? I don't know. It depends on how big your foot is, isn't it? All right, so now I'm going to measure my shoe with color tiles. Make sure I start at the start line. They need to be across the top of the shoe. Remember, no gaps. They're touching, but they are not on top of each other. End to end. 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 And I just barely fit one more underneath of there. Let's see, at the bottom. See that? So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there because it's just a tiny hair bit longer, and we're just measuring to the approximate